Hello, this is Joel Hathaway again, and today I want to talk to you about resume formats. There's a traditional resume format that likely many of you are familiar with. We were introduced to this format in college, and it looks a little bit like this. It has your name and address block at the top, followed by some sort of summary statement, qualifying statement, maybe what type of job you're looking for, or what skills and capacities you plan to bring. The next area shows or emphasizes the education that you have, the degrees you received, where you got them. And from there, it moves into your vocational history. What job are you doing right now? What is the job you did before that? And what are each of the subsequent jobs you have done in reverse chronological order? And you'll have under each one of those the opportunity to highlight maybe some of your objectives or outcomes, some of your accomplishments, or some areas of responsibility. And then way down at the bottom, you have what I call other, which is volunteer opportunities, hobbies, honors you may have received, awards. This is a great resume format if you have a lot of experience in the position that you're applying for. So if you're applying to be a youth minister or youth director and you have a lot of experience doing that in other contexts, this format serves you well. What happens if you don't have a lot of experience in the job that you're applying for? How do you demonstrate that you can do the work? There's another resume format, and it's called the functional resume or skills summary resume format. So similarly, your name and address block go at the top. Qualifying statement, give or take, that's totally up to you whether to include that. If you include it, please make sure that it uniquely describes you. If it's too vague or broad and it could describe any of your classmates, then it's probably not helping differentiate you in any meaningful way. From there, you move right into what's called your skill categories, or what I call buckets. You want between 3 and 4 of these on a resume when you're working on that. And you want to highlight those key areas of skill and capacity that you think are pertinent to the job that you're applying for. And under each one of these, you'll have bullet points that actually draw from the diversity of your work and volunteer experience. So instead of listing everything that you did at Home Depot or at Covenant Presbyterian Church, you're actually drawing from all the different categories to show how you used your gifts of leadership and how they helped advance the mission of the institution that you're working for or the particular job that you're filling. After that, you'll go into very briefly into vocational history, just one line for each job. And then notice at the very bottom, we put education. The strength of the skill or functional resume format is it really allows you to bring those things that you have done volunteer and because you are passionate about it. Even if you weren't paid about it, you did it because you love it. And that's what we want to be paid for. We want to be paid for the things and hired to do the things that we're really gifted to do. And so the skills summary allows you to actually bring those capacities closer to the top. Think in terms of Monopoly, the board game. The top of your resume is like Boardwalk. Very, very valuable. Gets lots of eye contact from search committees. The bottom of your resume, Baltic Avenue. Half your committee will probably get to the end of your resume, but keep in mind, probably 70 resumes are submitted for any given job that is publicly available. So the other strength is it allows you to demonstrate what your skills are for that particular job. My encouragement is that you would keep a master resume. A master resume may be 7, 8, or 9 pages long. It has everything that you have ever done, whether it's teaching or preaching. It has 9 or 10 categories of skills that may cover a diversity of jobs that you've drawn from. The reason to keep a master resume is when it comes time to send a resume for a specific job, it is much easier to delete what is irrelevant than it is in that moment to try to think up and remember how many people did you disciple? How many times did you teach or preach? How often have you counseled? How many mission trips did you run? What years were they and where did you go? And as you pull this information together, then you're able to reduce it to what is pertinent for a job description. So 2 takeaway points as we wrap up. First, the rule of thumb, you have 1 resume page for every 10 years of experience. So for most of you, that's going to be 1 page. Some of you might drift to a 2nd page. And the research shows that most search committees only look at the first page of the resume. So there we are, we're back to one page. So get the best that you can on that one page. Secondly, remember that the point of the resume is to get the job interview. So each element of your resume packet functions in a different way. The cover letter helps encourage search committees to look at your resume. The resume is intended to get you the job interview. Behavioral interviewing is intended to demonstrate your capacities and to get you a follow-up interview. And managing your knowledge gap is intended to help prepare you for being offered the position. So anything that's on your resume that doesn't encourage you in the area of, or the search committee as they look at it, to consider interviewing you for the position, consider removing that and either not including it in your resume packet or moving it to one of the other pages that we'll cover in a subsequent video. Hope this is helpful. If you have questions, email me. And if you'd like to peruse the other videos in this series, just click below.